Hi guys, today I would like to talk about modern democracy, which is a form of government in which the power is held by the people, either directly or through elected representatives. And it is linked with democratization, of which it is the transition to a more democratic political regime. Okay, this may be a transition from an authoritarian regime to a full democracy, or it may be a transition from an authoritarian political system to a semi-democracy, or it may be a transition from a semi-authoritarian political system to a democratic political system. Okay, I'd like to say that democracy is a system of government with some elements, and one of it being a system for choosing and replacing the government through free and fair elections. Oh, okay. May also be through active. Another element, it may be through active participation of the people as the citizens in political in politics and civic life. Okay, and we may also have protection of the human rights of all citizens, and rule of law, in which the laws and procedures apply equally to all citizens. In a democratic settings, citizens have the right to be informed of public issues, and how they affect basically how they affect them, and they also have the right to express their opinions and interests openly. Citizens also have the right to know how their political leaders and representatives use their constitutional powers. They also, but you realize that this is always the case. It is always it is always not the case, as these rights are constantly being muzzled um, by some politicians who do not have a political goodwill. Okay, there are several challenges that are facing modern democracies, and one of these challenges is the issue of political polarization, in which societies become divided into opposing groups with strongly held beliefs that are resistant, and they can compromise the current government. Um, this can lead to gridlock and inaction in government, as well as decline in trust in political institutions. Okay, education is also a challenge to modern democracy and development as a whole. As a poorly educated and illiterate population, without any civic education on matters leadership, can elect populist politicians who on election they can abandon democracy and become dictators, even where there were free and fair elections. Okay, we also have resource curse paradox of plenty. Uh, I would like to say that many countries with abundant natural resources, such as oil, gas, they tend to entice skilled workers from other sectors of the economy. Okay, making them to migrate to their resource sector for higher wages, hence making other employing companies look like they are paying peanuts in the same country. Yeah, another challenge is on immigration. You realize that any country, countries with immigrants may have, like the refugees, we realize that these immigrants, they may not have a say in that country, and they may be affected in one way or the other. So that is it is a challenge to democracy. And another thing is terrorism. I think we have been fighting terrorism in our country, Kenya. That is, and not just in Kenya, many other countries have been affected by terrorism, which largely affect democracy, because we realize that in a case of war, there is a massive destruction of property, loss of life, and many other things which break the humanitarian act. So that really hinders democracy. And there is also this challenge of rise of fake news and misinformation, disinformation, which can spread misinformation and show confusion among the public. Okay, the influence of foreign governments or actors on domestic politics, and can even and the potential of government abuse of power or even corruption. We realize that with the rise of freedom of speech, freedom of expression, uh, the media, we realize that people can talk, people can say anything, and this can lead to misinformation, of which it may be also dangerous. It may be dangerous to a country. Okay, guys, that's all I wanted to say for today. So you may hit the subscribe button for more of my videos.